24 years old when I finished my nursing school. 1 year afterwards, I did volunteer work at the psychiatry ward. No pay, no money, no nothing. Just working with the nurses, showing me the ropes, everything like that. And at the age of 25, I achieved my dream. But after I achieved my dream, it made me lazy. That is the problem. So, what was my dream? My dream, because growing up in my background is I come from Romania. You know, I can lie about my background. I love my own country and everything like that. But I always wanted ex- to have these experiences abroad, basically, and to learn more about life, not to limit myself just in one country, just to learn other cultures, other traditions, everything like that in between. Just to experience, just to live more and not to be, in a square box, basically, and that's it. So my dream was to work and live abroad. And at 25 years old, a job offer came through as a nurse in the UK, which I was over the moon, to be honest. I told my parents and they couldn't even believe me. It's like, I got a job, and they were still like trying to, figure it out, basically, what's going to happen next. And I told them, look, I'm going to leave, and that's what it is. It felt great. It felt great achieving that dream, just someone giving me a job offer, from abroad, from UK, basically. And just I started working in the July of 2025. And I believe, there are two types of foreigners. There's the foreigner type which go abroad and stay a while, and save some money, has his own plan, and just goes back in his own native country. And I believe there's the other type of foreigner who just wants to experience more, to learn more about the culture, traditions. And in my case, UK taught me a lot of things, civilized me in a lot of things, and matured me in a lot of ways, I would say. But yeah, I started at 25, I got my job offer, my dream came true. 25 years old, nurse position. I started working at a care home with dementia residents and palliative care residents. And that changed me as well. And I'm still, I'm still working as a nurse as we speak. I wanted this goal, this dream of mine. I wanted it because, as I said, I want to experience more from life. And second, I wanted a better financial situation. I wanted to afford maybe, a holiday a year, maybe, with my family, to go abroad, just the simple things, I think the simple things was my dream, just to, not be rich or anything like that, just to live a normal life, not to be worried about, not to worry if it's going to be enough to pay the bills or anything like that in between. And what happened afterwards, after I received the job offer and all that, as I said, I was over the moon. I was ecstatic, and I was like in a how can I say, in a dream, because I got here in UK. and it took a while to adjust, to take it all in, because I took it since that point. I took it all as an adventure. I didn't look forward down the future. I took it as an adventure and like a trip, basically. And I was very happy, but that stopped me, in all honesty. As I came here, a different wage was given in my hand. I never had that amount of money, to be honest with you, um, which that this what I'm talking about. This is in 2015. All right, this is 2025. It's a whole different world. But yeah, in 2015, when I got the job, the wage and everything was good. Was pretty good in UK as a nurse, a single guy. And because I dreamed so long, about this goal of mine, achieving it. When I got to that point, I started to pick up, bad habits. I started drinking coffee. I wasn't drinking coffee back then. Till 25 years old, I wasn't drinking coffee. I don't know why I started drinking coffee. But it's not only coffee, coffee might be a minor thing. I started smoking weed as a enhancer of my experience, of my new experience, because it was so easy to get. I mean, the guy which provided to me was living under the same roof as I did, so he kind of introduced me to it, and I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, and I carried on with it just because it was just enhancing. Sorry, my whole experience here, being UK, fresh time, enhancing the happiness and all that state. It started as a booster, let's put it this way, of the happiness which I felt, first time coming to UK and achieving this dream of mine. But that picking up these habits, staying out late, not working, not having physical exercises like I used to do back home, smoking, drinking in the pub sometimes, staying out late and all that. That with time started to compound, and it became normal, which shouldn't be really. It became normal, and that stopped my progress, because in my head, I was like, that's it, I mean, I made it, I'm here now, and this is it. This is how the rest of my life is going to be, Um, and then the problem is, I realized a bit too late about the bad habits which I picked up. I never smoked at my job or anything like that. Just my off time. Don't get me wrong. Never done anything like that. Endanger. Anyone, my residents, because I cared for them. But the problem is, once I realized these bad habits started to affect me, I I should have reviewed myself. Like every half a year or a year going forward. And in all honesty, the first half a year was crazy just because I couldn't even believe that people were talking to me in English, and I was having like some form of flashbacks, like because I wanted so much, this to achieve this goal, that I'm still back home, like in Romania, and I couldn't believe for a while, that actually people are talking to me in English, which was great, and I had to snap out of it basically, and come back to reality. And yeah, it was a good reality. But when I realized all these bad habits in the meanwhile, which I picked because I want to enhance my happiness experience of being here, it all stacked up. And um, on the long run, it affected me, psychologically, Um, Probably affected some relations, you know, maybe with some friends as well. I'm not gonna lie, you know. My mental state, you know, my mental health. And the only advice I would give to someone is that when you achieve a dream, always review yourself. Always review half a year onwards. Just review yourself and don't become complacent. You know, someone once said you have to dream big. You know, because small dreams with time and discipline will get achieved. You know, but big dreams which are scary, you know, to some degree they scare you off. You always have to work on them. You know, always have to put work in it so you don't become complacent. You know. And one of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle, actually, he says, you know, be a big dreamer, you know, work on your dreams. And when someone steps in your own house, you know, in your own garden or anything like that, you know, they step in your own dream, they step in your own work. Don't be the guy which steps in another guy's dream, you know what I mean? So, my advice going forward, whoever wants to achieve a dream, you know, we all have dreams, really, you know, just just review it, you know, review yourself, don't become complacent, and be aware of everything you pick up in the meantime. You know, once you achieve something, be aware of that, so they don't, if it's something bad, it will stack up and it will affect you. It will affect you like it affected me. But I believe it's never too late, you know, to realize, you know, what's wrong and what's good and what steps can be taken from now forward. So dream big, dream big, work on it. Don't become complacent. Leave the bad habits and review yourself. Always review yourself. You know, you achieve the small step. What's the next step? You know, you achieve that step. What is the next step? You know, I'm not saying become greedy or anything like that, or work constantly like and ignore everything else. You know, but yeah, don't become complacent. You know, that's what I learned, because becoming complacent and thinking this is it, sometimes, most of the times, you know, in my case, it kind of ruins you, you know, it can ruin you. So, thank you for watching this video. Whoever watches it, probably no one. But yeah, review yourself always. Everything you want to achieve in life, review yourself. Thank you.